Hello everyone, my name is Rafael and welcome to my channel. So over the last several days I have been bombarded by so many emails, messages regarding this coronavirus, and it seems like a lot of you guys has been affected by this very unfortunate situation. I've been affected as well. I have lost a lot of clients and photo shoots, so for the next couple months I'm kind of, I would say, in the situation where the business is pretty much shut down. So I think this is going to be a good opportunity to talk a little bit about it. And I know all of us, or most of us, is in kind of panic mode. And we really don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. This so unpredictable, and then it seems like this whole thing is so out of control that we really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So I just want to basically talk a little bit what my approach is to this situation, and hopefully this video maybe give you a little bit of different perspective, or give you some, I would say, new approach, what we can do, because this situation never happened before, and then again we really don't know what to do, and I think we need some kind of action plan how we can basically deal with this. And here in Canada, everything is pretty much shut down. A lot of people, they're in panic mode. I witnessed yesterday where people were fighting over food and over toilet paper and all this crazy stuff. So it seems like, for me, that mentally we're so unprepared, and people emotions, they running high, and people even don't know what to do, and that's where they're getting angry, they're getting anxious, and they basically cannot really control their own emotions and their own behavior. And this is what scares me the most in this entire situation. But we have to go through this somehow, and I just want to talk about it, what I've decided to do, and what I'm trying to kind of achieve for the next few, I would say, weeks or months, because at this point nobody knows how long it's going to take. So the first step, what I've decided to do, I really want to look after my health and my family's health, and want to make sure that I have this under control. So the first thing and the most important thing is definitely the food. I think this is maybe a good opportunity for all of us to basically go through what we eat and how we can make our food options, those choices, a little bit better. Because the thing is that the way we're going to fuel our body, that's how we're going to build up our immune system. So this is something which I deeply believe is extremely important, and we quite often eat a lot of junk and we eat a lot of crap, and I think this is the moment where we need to somehow look into this and filter out all the stuff which are unhealthy for us. And I'm not gonna tell you what you should eat or we shouldn't eat. I think most of us, we know what the good options are and what to choose. So this is the first step where I'm gonna look after, I'm gonna basically make sure that everything is on my plate, it's healthy, and it's gonna give me only the benefits, and not gonna harm my body and my system, and basically kind of decrease my immune system. So the second thing what I'm trying to do right now is to make sure I look after my fitness, because this is also extremely important in this situation. So probably you guys who watching my social media, I run a lot, and I'm trying to kind of keep it healthy, and I know it's going to get harder and harder because a lot of those places is shutting down. On the top of it, in Canada right now we have very cold weather, so there's no way I can even go outside and work out. We have a lot of snow, we have very low temperatures, so it's kind of crazy. But as long as all those gyms and places will be open, I'm going to be trying to stay as fit as possible. For those ones who are terrified to go outside or they don't want to go, I will link quite interesting documentary which going to help you to basically exercise at home without even having any gym equipment. And this is quite interesting documentary. I highly recommend it to watch it, because you can definitely look after your fitness, basically just basically working out at home, and you can use a lot of those things which you have available to keep up your health and keep up your fitness, the kind of level which gonna keeps you healthy. The next thing what I want to do, and this is actually what I've been doing for quite a bit, but we need to somehow boost our immune system, and there's tons of different ways where we can do that, but the one thing what I highly recommend it, and this is also what I've been doing for the last few years, and I also link quite interesting documentary to help you guys out to take a closer look, because I'm not a scientist, I'm not an expert. I'm also following some other people's kind of guideline, and I do cold showers every single day. And honestly, I never been sick for the last 2 years. I never got cold. Whenever I was even getting sick, like my immune system reacted to anything quite fast. And this is something what I personally would highly recommend it to do, because you can definitely boost your immune system. So if you're gonna get even hit by this virus, you have much bigger chances to go through it without any bigger problems. So this is the number, I think, 3 thing what I'm gonna make sure control and make sure I'm kind of like looking after, so I'm gonna stay healthy as much as I can and be prepared for this virus. The last thing, which I think is also extremely important when it comes to our health, is to keep our mental health, because right now we are in some kind of panic mode. There's a lot of anxiety going on, and I think this is mostly because this entire media, which is bombarding us from every possible angle, and we absorb all those informations and our brain is going crazy, and we just keep thinking about this, we analyze everything, we cannot sleep, and basically this affects our health, because living in that stress for a long time, it's not going to bring any positive to our health. This whole thing is going to kind of go out of control, and we're going to sacrifice by being healthy. So what I've decided to do, I basically trying to cut off myself from all this social media scream. Also, I'm trying not to watch too much news. I have few websites which I go occasionally just to see what is happening, but I'm not trying to read every possible article which is out there about this coronavirus, because I know my brain is gonna go nuts. So as long as we can stay out of it and we can try to kind of don't get, I would say, information which is gonna make us crazy and are gonna get us, a lot of anxiety and stress, we need to somehow, and I know it's not easy and I know it's difficult, because we want to know what's going on, we want to learn more about it, we want to know how it's affecting our communities, our countries. But again, this is not healthy. This is something which really makes us, as I said, stress and make us just feel not good. So we need to somehow control this. I know there's certain things which we cannot control, how this whole thing spreads, what is happening around us, but there's definitely things which we cannot control, and this is, I would say, the message of this video. So why don't we take a control over the things which we can, and this is what's going to make this whole thing, I would say, better. So now let's talk a little bit about the work, because a lot of us losing a lot of business, and then we have to pay bills. We need to do things which makes the cash flow, and it's a situation where we really don't know what's going on. As I said, I've lost and I have a lot of cancellations for the next month or so, and people are scared, people don't want to kind of see you. It's something where there's not much what we can do. We need to somehow kind of go through this. So what we can do in this situation? So what I do and what I've decided to do, basically I want to focus on things which basically, well, first of all, keep my mind occupied, and so I don't have to think about the situation, but also I've decided to do things which I normally don't have a time. So I'm going to revamp my website. I'm going to work more on different content. I'm going to work on promotional material. I'm going to keep trying to approaching different businesses. Even right now, it's kind of iffy situation, but maybe what we can do, we can send out some emails to our past clients and then basically see how they're doing and try to kind of have this conversation, I would say, going, so we're not gonna, I would say, lose our mind. On the top of that, what I would highly recommend, this is also a good opportunity to maybe improve our photography by learning new things. There's so much content out there which allows us to learn something new, and maybe this is opportunity to kind of do it like a deep dive in topics like lighting, retouching, things which going to help us our business. There's tons of stuff which can definitely improve our photography, our business, our marketing, and all this cool stuff. So maybe we're gonna need this little bit of kind of restart, this free time which we're probably gonna have on our hands. We can use it to do something positive and something which gonna elevate us to another level. I'm gonna try to read as much as I can. There's a lot of books which I would love to read and I never have a time for this. So maybe this is opportunity to kind of jump on those books and learn something new. Try to basically do things which gonna make us grow. It's gonna improve what we do, and hopefully this whole thing is gonna pass fairly quick and we not gonna sacrifice as much, and then whenever this whole thing is gonna be over, we can definitely be ready to jump back on our regular business, and then we can basically go back to whatever we were doing. So this is something which is very, I would say, difficult for a lot of us, because as I said, this has never happened before, and maybe this gonna help us to learn something new. This is the way I actually look at this thing, because I know it's scary when we're getting into situations where it's, I would say, unpredictable, it's unknown, and then we really don't know what to do. But that's how the business also look like. And I know it's affecting our health and affecting our business, affecting our life. And this whole thing is something where it's difficult and something that we have a hard time to cope with, and you know, affecting our families. And this whole thing is just some kind of interesting. And I'm not gonna say I'm not panicking, because I'm scared, and also I'm a little bit terrified, but I'm trying to, I would say, control, as I said, the things which I can control, and focus my mind on those things. Because if I focus on those things which I can't control, like, I know I'm gonna go crazy, and this is something that's going to happen to most of us if we're not going to focus on those right things and things which going to make us our life better. So hopefully, as I said, we're going to go through this. Also, what I want to say is that if anyone need any help from me, I'll be more than happy to share my advice. I'm going to be more than happy to help you whenever I can. And I think also as a community, we need to somehow stick together and support each other and do whatever we can. So when this whole thing is going to be over, somehow we're going to get something positive out of this. So if you have any specific questions, or if there's anything you would like to add to this, please feel free to contact me. I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions, and let's keep in touch. Hopefully this whole thing is going to pass sooner, and then we're going to kind of go back to our, I would say, regular and normal life. So thank you for watching. Stay tuned, and I'll be in touch with you guys very soon. Bye bye.